Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zahra, ex-Muslim, ex-Shia. As always, come to help the Muslims see for themselves and decide as they should. Now we have to share tafsir on this AI overview that I found recently. So those Shias who say, so first on this, right? Those Shias who say go to a religious scholar to understand the Quran, go to a Quran expert to understand the Quran ayats. There are no contradictions. Right? What does the tafsir, Shia tafsir on Surah 10, ayat 100 say about this? Go to religious scholars. Individual responsibility. Shia interpretations emphasize the responsibility of individuals to use their minds and intellect to discern the truth and make informed choices about their faith. What does this mean? Did you individual Shias understand this? Those who have come here like Saklan Haider Temur or a Shia or disguised, telling me, huh? You have taken our rights away from us. You are taking what God has given us as a right to understand, use our intellect, discerning the truth, right? Oh, unjust. You are not Shias. You are not Muslims. You are not believers. Any Shia here? Now I've made a note of this in my notebook. Moreover, I found contradiction on there being no compulsion in religion, meaning Allah has said this in Surah Baqarah ayat, which one number it is, but here also, Surah Hud, Surah 10 ayat 99. Again, Allah repeats himself in this way, for there to be no compulsion in religion. And had your Lord willed, those on earth would have believed, all of them entirely. Then, O Muhammad, now he's addressing Prophet Muhammad, right? Would you compel the people in order that they become believers? So there should be no compulsion, no form of compulsion, no duress, no fighting, nothing, no threats, according to these verses. And the verse in general is when Allah states, where is it in Surah Baqarah? I'll also show you that ayat, Surah Baqarah, that there be no compulsion. So, anyways, have to go to Surah Baqarah. Surah Baqarah ayat. No compulsion in religion. So this is a general ayat, Surah Baqarah 256. There shall be no compulsion in the religion, This is a general verse. Okay, yes? Understood? Surah Baqarah 256. Let's go inside the Sunni Quran, the Quran that is preserved by Uthman bin Affan first, or Affan, right? It's Hafsa's Quran. Shias, you also see this has come to us. And your Quran, by the way, the original that you believe in, meaning your Quran, that original Quran is still with Mahdi, hidden, not made public, available to the public. But this is where we have to, what we have to do with, right? So as a Shia, I had to do with this Quran, like all the other Shias. and there shall be, sorry, there shall be no compulsion in the religion. The right course has become distinct from the wrong, so whoever disbelieves in Taghut and believes in Allah has grasped the most trustworthy handhold with no break in it, and Allah is hearing and knowing. General ayat, there shall be no compulsion in religion. Now here we have a more specific ayat. Now moreover, Allah is telling Prophet Muhammad, would you compel the people in order that they become believers? When your Lord has not, when had your Lord willed, had your Lord willed, those on earth would have believed. Now, what is this? There should be no compulsion, right? Also, understand this. Little have some of you Shias understood coming here and harassing me like anything, softly trying to kill me in this condition, also using my weaknesses like Sakla and Haider, and Temur totally lying against me that I'm not Shia because I don't know this part of, and then asking me the names. I don't know this part of the dua in the namaz, salat, my salat. Hmm? Moreover, over there also shouting at me like anything and abusing me back. I abused Zalmi. Zalmi used all these men to abuse me, like Temur, and sitting back and laughing. I remember. So another thing is, I said I could tell my imams' names, 12 imams' names. No, 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 that would be you'll search the Google and this and that. I want to ask you something very how all Shias know, right? What dua. Then a Sayyid, when Temur came here, a Sayyid was here. Sayyid was here and said to him, not every Shia says that dua in the namaz, in their salah. Okay? Still, he was like, both of you are not Shias, you are lying, you are pretending, you were never Shias. Both of you meaning. So I was an ex-Shia at that time, ex-Muslim, on my live stream, StreamYard. A Zaydi Shia came, a Sayyid. Tamur came. So this kind of harassment, you should be punished. This Tamur should be taken and punished. Cowards, liars. So it really makes me angry, mad at them, and why shouldn't it? And then they say, oh, why are you getting angry? Some of you come here. And sorry, I put the, I then, cause my live stream shared again on my Facebook and X platform and put shame on Dr. Khalil Andani. My style was not this before. I should have put it in better words, like not to embarrass Dr. Khalil Andani, although he said that in two of his debates, I think, um, one with Dr. David Wood, before that with someone else, he said that no, there should be no, or am I forgetting now? Can't remember properly, but he did mention that only religious scholars should have debates, and uh, we should rely on religious scholars, like even Sunni general religious scholars. So now the Christian religious scholars, the priests and all, we should rely on them to find out the truth about Christianity. The Muslim religious scholars would be even Sunni, Salafis, and all, and the different madhabs in Sunni, right? Sunni Islam. So all of them saying what they believe in, and we won't get that critical examination and critical appreciation, right? And to show the truth. So Dr. Khalil Andani should have known better than to say that, right? Because also, moreover, in the Shia tafsir on Surah 10, ayat 100, he should know that individual responsibility, this has been given to us, and I've known this for a long time, but just couldn't put it in proper words like this here AI overview has through Google, through this Google search on Surah 10, ayat 100. Shia interpretations emphasize the responsibility of individuals, not religious scholars. Dr. Khalil Andani. But this is what I was saying and trying to say, right? To use their minds and intellect to discern the truth and make informed choices, also to make informed choices about the faith. Not only to use their minds and intellect to discern the truth about their faith, but also to make informed choices. What would be informed choices about their faith? That is this to go to our religious scholars? Or finding information even privately through online search? Reading the tafsirs of the religious scholars on the Qur'an ayats? What the imams also have given them. And sometimes they have to decide on their own, the Shia religious scholars. So this also taking our responsibility away in doing private research or private, the using their minds and intellect to discern the truth about their religion. Even Dr. Khalil Andani is taking away that right for of what the 12 Shias have. Every individual 12 Shia has. And making the Sunni religious scholars at such a caliber that they are right then how will you choose? How will you discern? How will you use your intellect and your mind and whatever information to choose what is truth and find out what is truth and about your faith? He has, Dr. Khalil Andani has, by saying that religious scholars are only eligible to tell us the truth about our religion, then he's made a real blunder. And what is the implication of that? That no individual can do it, then Sunni will say, I'm right, my religious scholar is right. Not I'm right, but my religious scholar is right. The Ahmadis will say, our religious scholars are right. You see what blunder Dr. Khalil Andani has made by making that statement that I can't show you. Sorry. I wish I could, but I can't play that. I haven't asked those debates, and I'll have to look for them. Where in the end or right, in the middle somewhere during the debate, he's mentioned that, made that statement. So he doesn't want you to discern the truth, but just defending your religion on what information you have from your religious scholars. It's stammering. I don't know, from your religious scholars on faith. So Sunnis remain Sunnis, and Shias, 12 Shias remain 12 Shias, and Christians remain Christians. But this is the position of the Sunni Shia. This is the position of the 12 Shias. This is the position of the Ismaili Shia, right? That's all Dr. Khalil Andani gives you. I don't know why he even goes on a debate. This is not a debate thing. If you want to give history out or just the information out about Islam and the various schools of thought and all these lectures on that, and where the Shias differ from Twelver Shias differ from the Ismaili Shias, and where the Sunnis differ from the Ismaili Shias and Ismaili Islam and all this. I mean, this is not about debates then, and not even to for the to search the truth out about your religion. So Dr. Khalil Andani has been way out of line and should not even have participated in a debate with, that man who asked him, who initiated, saying he was forcing Dr. Khalil Andani to have a debate with him on X platform also, and had, I think, contacted Dr. Khalil Andani personally also, or maybe publicly in a comment. So this problem, sorry, excuse me. So this was the case, and Dr. Khalil Andani then having a debate with this person who he was forced, although I've never seen, never heard, and was told that they remain private. They're Smileys and they don't have debates. They're cool people in this. They don't have debates with people. They don't believe in this. You're from the Ismaili Tariqa, then you're from the Ismaili Tariqa, right? With the permission of Allah. Surah 10, Ayat 100. And it is not for a soul to believe except by the permission of Allah. Moreover, which ayat was it that said that? Shias even that Imams lead, Imams guide you. I think Surah Furqan ayat tafsir also. So Dr. Khalil Andani, whoever is born as an Ismaili, of course would follow the Ismaili unless they want to do their own research. And being a 12er Shia, I don't know about Sunnis, but this is the tafsir on Surah 10, ayat 100 for me. Right? And this is what I did. I felt I had the right. And even my friend, the Shia friend, was telling a Christian that we Shias cannot follow our religion blindly just because we're born in that Shia Islam. We have to do research our own. So this is individual responsibility that my friend was talking about, Shia friend, to a Christian friend who had, they both had come to visit me. Shia interpretations emphasize the responsibility of individuals to use their minds and intellect to discern the truth and make informed choices about their faith. So I got my own information, then used through the tafsirs, also used my intellect, mind. And not only that, I used the Qur'an ayats to see if there are contradictions against what the Shia alims or tafsir, what you call them, religious scholars are saying, who have given the tafsir on Surah Tahrim, ayat 1. And I found that completely out of the Quran ayats, in contradiction to Surah 5, ayat 87, and now Surah 21, ayat 27. And so a Sunni comes and tells me recently, Turk, sorry, right, that for them, this ayat, the tafsir is that these are Surah 21, ayat 27 tafsir is that they are angels and not messengers of Allah, while the Shias say these are prophets of Allah, that this ayat is referring to also, Surah 21. And I go here with the Shia because because I guessed it, I inferred that it should be, I worked it out. Now, I can't show you step by step everything, right? So, how I worked it out through the previous ayat, that this about Isa ibn Maryam, not about the angels and the jinns whom the polytheists form a relationship with God. How do you say it? This is not about angels or jinns, Surah 21, Ayat 27, as the Sunnis tafsir is. I found the Shia tafsir true on this. So please, Shias, have a look at this, right? Comparing this to Surah Tahrim, Ayat 1, then Prophet Muhammad should have not preceded Allah's word and should have acted by his command, even in his private matter with the uh, wives, because you see, this is, if he had refrained, not taking an oath and also not making it haram. So when making it haram, it becomes a religious edict, right? What do you say? It becomes religious and it's not a private matter then. Even in his private life, if he makes something haram and this is the Prophet, an official order proclamation issued by a person in authority, he's also a person in authority, he's a religious leader who is getting wahis, revelations from God. So common sense tells us. However, I also used the ayahs to tell you, Quran ayahs, to show you how contradictory it is. And you wouldn't say that, oh, since this was earlier and then this Surah Maida, Allah had not made it compulsory, mandatory, a command to the believers to not make haram what Allah has made lawful, the good things. That even the good things, like fruit or, like meat, the good things that Allah has made lawful to them, for them, and do not transgress. Meaning, if you do this, you'll be transgressors, also that. So, on this, Allah cannot change rules like this, just then giving it to the believers, and then He's done it before that. But, however, to make it easy for you, but you know what, how you go on trying to defend Allah and contradictions in the Quran ayat and making this prophet a true prophet when he's a false prophet. So that's why I had to put in this piece here, explain to you again what you would say. Like how you've been told, in one of the ayats, like that before this was not made obligatory and then it was made. So that's why Allah says, I turn to you in forgiveness, Prophet Muhammad, since you didn't know, you had not yet distinguished the true ones from the false ones or the hypocrites. And so God knows what. And since it had not come before, it's okay, but now I forgive you, I turn to you. And now it's come that you should not let them go until you distinguish between the people who are true and the people who are false. So, Surah Baqarah, I'm not able to say this properly, sorry. So, in authority, at least, if he proclaims, even for himself, doing it privately, this is a matter of religion. This is a word in Surah Tahrim, which is used. You see, I checked it many times with another ayat, Surah Tahrim ayat, the word. Did he make it haram? And I just didn't rely on the English translators, and thanks to Quran.com also. I checked every word and what Allah means. Is it lawful? Ahalla, right? Then Quran ayats I checked on this. Yeah, lawful. Is this haramu? Forbidden, prohibited, prohibit, forbid? Yes. It's from haram, haram, right? Make forbidding. I checked all these words. Now this is a religious word. You could have refrained, not made it haram, prohibited. So religion comes in here, even though a private matter with the wives. And why would Allah even put it in the Quran? But that's forget that. I mean, yeah, no, no, no. Bring that. Consider that, right? If it's a private matter, why would Allah make it? He made it, and He defends him here. He made it and put it in the Quran. He revealed to him here. He reveals to him here. Why are you doing this, O Prophet? And thank God, O Prophet, because then the Sunnis will say maybe he wasn't a prophet at this time also. You know how people defend Prophet Muhammad. Like in Surah Ahzab, when Prophet Muhammad made Zaid his adopted son, as per the polytheist pagan way, the Sunnis say that he wasn't a prophet at that time. He didn't know he was a prophet. That's why he made that and made an error. He did that and made an error. And thus it means he was a polytheist. And then you can see Surah Muzammil, or which one? Arise and warn and purify your clothing, and what clothes and what? Muzammil, or like Rob Christian was saying, Shias. Shias don't believe that he was a polytheist, okay? So this, he was a polytheist, a prophet. He was not like Jesus Christ, born from the beginning knowing that who he was, or not even at the age of 16, 17, not till the age of 40, right? Or what age he went into the ghar. He was going into the cave, contemplating, I don't know, maybe the polytheist way. So some things are for, they go with what the Sunnis claim about Prophet Muhammad. Some things go with Shias. So, anyways, this goes against both Shia Sunni, and that's the ayat, right? So he makes haram for himself what Allah has made lawful to you, for you. And moreover, seeking to please his consort's wives. These are now not Muslim wives. But here, only here you could see that he should have waited for Allah's revelation to come out to whether to make, not, Allah, see, that's why Allah is saying Allah would never ask him to forbid himself. For goodness sakes, it's not even refraining. You know, like the doctor tells you refrain from water for some time. And moreover, he's taken an oath, it seems, by Allah, made it haram and on oath. Allah has already ordained for you the dissolution of your. That's why Allah had to do this. What kind of an Allah will really do this? He can't do it for the believers, what is now, what Allah and the Messenger have decided. But on oaths, yes, you can give some fine and all this. Here, the oath is completely expiated, meaning by means of a kafara. No, no, no. Prophet Muhammad has to give kafara. It's for only the believers who expiate their oaths have to give a kafara. This is completely dissolved, dissolution of his oath. I don't see any kafara yet to give in this case. Taking an oath, forbidding what Allah had made lawful for him. Moreover, pleasing his wives who are not believers. See Surah 66, Ayat 5. Yeah, perhaps his Lord, yes, Ayat 5. Surah Tahrim, Ayat 5. See, that's what Allah says. Perhaps his Lord, if he divorced you, that he will substitute for him wives better than you. He's addressing these wives who he went pleasing, prohibiting himself what Allah had made lawful for him, the Prophet. These two wives, he went pleasing, Allah is saying against them. Submissive, Muslimah, Muslimah, Muslimah. They're not Muslimah. Better than you, Muslimah. faithful moment. What is Allah saying? These two wives are not even Muslim, not Momin, not obedient, not repentant, who do not worship, do not fast. Hearken not to the hypocrites and the disbelievers. Surah Ahzab ayat 1. He's gone pleasing his wives. So what was I showing you? Also another thing, right? I could go into detail again on this ayat. Surah 61 ayat 1. There he's saying, Allah is saying in the Quran ayat that do what you can, apply whatever force against me, right? Don't give me any, what do you call it? Apply what you can against me. You think I'm afraid of your gods? Apply. Do they see? Apply what you can against me, whatever force you can, and don't give me respite. Yeah, I got the word. Don't give me respite. Moreover, he's challenging them that Allah, respite, Quran. And do they have eyes, these idols or your gods? Do they have hands? Call your God partners, scheme your worst against me, and give me no respite. This is for Prophet Muhammad. Allah has brought down this against the idol worshippers and God partners, associators, mushrik. Now you can see the wives have won. He didn't divorce. And if he did, if there is a Rob Christian, we got that of Hafsa. There's a hadith where Prophet Muhammad divorced Hafsa. He took her back, right? Didn't even do halala, make her do halala. God knows, we're not told. But there's a hadith. Okay, so but they've the wives have won. Surah Tahrim. Now what does he say in Surah Tahrim ayat 4? A 4, right? Who is his helper? Now he's got associates himself, right? And remember when the Prophet 4, wrong ayat. Sorry. If you two wives repent to Allah, for your hearts have deviated, but if you cooperate against him, this is war, then indeed Allah is his protector. And Gabriel, there's comma here, please. This is Allah is his, this is association, isn't it? Mawlahu. And Jibreel, and the righteous believers, and the angels after that are his assistants. Come on, you're telling us about Mihraj, Shias, that Jibreel said, I can't go above this. And I have heard Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi telling me that Insan Kamil, Insan is above. Insan has such qualities God given. And a human being, a human being is above angel. Jibreel on Mihraj saying to Prophet Muhammad, I cannot go above this now. My what do you call them? Wings will burn. Now you go above the stage to meet God for Mihraj. Now this is association. Do you see it or not? Helping him against these two wives only. Righteous among the believers are his Mawla, and the angels after that, bada dhalika, after that, assistance, his assistance, right? So he's telling the associate partners here, he's been told to tell because this is an ayat. So Allah has told him to say this, Surah 7, ayat 195, and Surah Hud, ayat 55, and Surah Yunus, also ayat 71, are not a call for violence or aggression, but rather a declaration. Okay, no, this one, Surah, let's go to Surah 7, ayat 195 that I was referring to in my older live streams on this. Do they have feet by which they walk, or do they have hands by which they strike, or do they have eyes by which they see, or do they have ears by which they hear? Say, O Muhammad, call your partners and then conspire against me and give me no respite. Right? Many contradictions. Please pay attention here. Now, who will say this here? They're talking about, Allah's talking about the idols, right? But then there is no association, whether idols or man or angels. So, Surah Zumar ayat, there should be no association. Now, these awliyas they take to get nearness to Allah. Just showing you, awliyas could be human beings, not idol worshippers. Surah Zumar ayat 3. So again, touching on this, I hope briefly I don't go into detail and come back to the topic at hand. So you see, unquestionably for Allah is the pure religion, and those who take protectors besides him, okay, here it's besides him, say, we only worship them that they may bring us nearer to Allah in position. Indeed, Allah will judge between them. They could be human beings, like taking protectors, as like Allah has. So the Sunnis, the Shias will say, read in context, right? Here, although there are besides him, not with Allah. Now, with Allah is Surah Maida at 55, Waliyakum in singular form written in Arabic. Your wali, awliya is in plural form. Your wali is Allah, the messenger, and the believers who bow, all this. Now, so association with Allah is allowed, right? The Shias would say, and if Allah sends authority, Surah 7, ayat 33. But I found even ayats against that, what the Shias have given and told me. Right now, if I could remember, now there's a like main ayat, right? Surah Nisa ayat, that association with Allah, not attributing with Allah, but associating with Allah, anyone, is unforgivable. Shirk is unforgivable. Now, Allah, you see, doesn't say here in this ayah, there are two ayats in Surah Nisa. Ayat 4 of 48 and, Surah 4, ayat 48 and Surah 4, ayat 116. Allah doesn't say, do not associate anything with me or anyone besides me, like that. How he puts it here is, indeed, Allah does not forgive that partners be associated with him, be he, not beside him, not besides him, you see? And this is yushraka. This is not attributing anyone, like using Allah, using attributes like names of Allah and with him, giving it. Surah Tahrim, he's attributed with him this Rasul Karim. Anyhow, but now it's mushrik. It's shirk with behi. Now even behi is by him or what, and now we can put with is inda or another word ma. But anyways, with him, he doesn't distinguish, saying besides me. So here it's with him. But he forgives from other than that for whom he wills, and whoever associates partners with Allah, then surely he has fabricated a sin, ithman, and sin is haram. Surah 7, ayat 33. Tremendous, azim. This is now you see Urdu speaking gunai kabira. And moreover, shirk is unforgivable by Allah. So what he's done in Surah Tahrim is Allah has done it, is associating with him partners. No, with him, associating partners with Allah. Surah Tahrim. As helpers. Moreover, angels will assist him. See this? Allah is his protector, and Jibreel, and the righteous believer, and the angels after that are his assistants. Now, having protectors with Allah, is that shirk or not? As Allah explained in the ayats, that this is not shirk, please tell me. Because in Surah Zumar, those who took awliyas get nearness to Allah, Allah says this is not right, right? So religion should be exclusively for Allah. So the unquestionably for Allah is the pure religion. And those who take protectors besides them say, okay, here, but I saw that, right? We've already done this, right? Whether with him, does Allah even allow protectors with him? And does he explain that, the difference? We only worship them that they bring us nearer to Allah in position. Now let's putting also worship them. Indeed, Allah will judge between them concerning that over which they differ. Indeed, Allah does not guide he who is a liar and disbeliever. Okay, Allah doesn't say they are polytheists, but Allah says they are qadib. Qadib. Qadibun is a liar and a disbeliever. You see this? So I have already done this in detail, my old. So for now, we leave it on this and go back to the topic, right? Leave it to this, go back to the topic. Now, where's the contradiction about on against this ayat also, where Allah is now telling Prophet Muhammad that would you compel the people in order that they become believers, right? This means, going back to the main ayat, Surah Baqarah, let there be no compulsion in religion. Truth stands out clear from error. Whoever rejects the devil, Taghut, and holds the hand of Allah, has held the most trustworthy handle that never breaks. There should be no compulsion in religion. And now Allah is telling Muhammad, would you compel the people? Because Allah willed, if Allah had willed, those on earth would have believed. But He lets go astray whom He wills. So that means that they decide, like the Shias would put it, that God's mercy and free will. You see, on this ayat, I think it's more on this Surah 10, ayat 99, not Surah 10, ayat 100. Because in Surah 10, ayat 100, no soul can believe except by the permission of Allah. So they have to have the permission of Allah to believe, or the will of Allah to believe. It's permission, not maybe here it's will also in Arabic. But on this, God's mercy on Surah 10, ayat 100, I think God's mercy, the Shia tafsir, God's mercy and free will. This is for Surah 10, ayat 99, the previous ayat. The verse signifies that God is merciful and does not force anyone to believe. Instead, He provides opportunity for individuals to choose to believe, based on their understanding and free will, based on their understanding, not the religious scholars' understanding, based on each individual's understanding and free will. I think this is more on Surah 10 ayat, the previous ayat, 99, rather than Surah 10 ayat 100. Because Surah 10 ayat 100 says, no soul can believe except by permission of Allah. So how can you even if you understand it, you have to have the permission of Allah to believe. Forget using your understanding. So here the Shias are a little bit out of, see how Allah has confused the Shias here. If you take Surah 10 ayat 100, it is not for a soul to believe except by permission of Allah. You can use all your mind, your intellect, everything, the information, but if it is not the permission of Allah, this ayat is saying that no soul can believe. It's not on what you understand of it that you start believing, or what you even observe. The next ayat, Surah 10, ayat 101. Tell them, observe carefully all that is in the heavens and the earth, but no signs and warnings can avail those who are bent on not believing. But again, what is the use of putting this observe carefully when no one can believe, no soul can believe? Surah 10, ayat 100 again. No soul can believe except by permission of Allah. Allah should not have put it this way in Surah 10, ayat 100. And then saying, observe, see what is in the heavens and the earth, behold, see. But no signs and warnings. Now Allah blames the ones who will not believe, the obstinate disbelievers. But even if we see, can we believe without the permission of Allah? No, belief will not come in us without without the permission of Allah. So this is also a problem between these ayahs. And then we come to the contradiction against Surah 10, ayat 99 now. Muhammad, do not compel them. Would you now compel them to believe when, as your Lord willed, if your Lord willed, they would have believed, right? Every one of them. Would you compel them? So instead of giving you Surah 4, ayat 47, Allah Himself is compelling them by threatening to deface their faces, the Ahl Kitab, Jews and Christians, in Surah 4, ayat 47. And now here we have in Surah 2, ayat 193, what's happening? وَقَاتِلُوا, and fight them until there is no temptation. Dr. Ghali I've chosen. Translation in English. No temptation or discord, strife, sedition, and the religion is for Allah. Yet, in case, what does this mean? Fight them until religion is for Allah, please. Shias have used polities. Fight the polytheists until they become Muslims. Because Allah doesn't take polytheism at all. Unforgivable sin. So Shia tafsir I saw the Sunnit tafsir, and I can't remember, it's some time ago. The religion is for Allah, meaning they become Muslims, right? Fight them until they become Muslims. Now, isn't there compulsion here? So there's a Surah 2 ayat 193 also goes against, wherever there's compulsion, Surah 4 ayat 47 goes against Surah 10 ayat 99. Say, then, O Muhammad, not say, then, O Muhammad, would you compel the people in order that they become believers? Not only Surah 4 ayat 47 is a contradiction, but Surah to this ayat, but Surah 2 ayat 193 is also a contradiction. And what does Allah want now before starting in Jang-e Badr, making the Muslim believers fight the polytheist army that was sent to Abu Sufyan in tafsir now of the ayat, Surah 8 ayat 7? Allah wanted them to fight. Now the armed, go for the armed one, meaning fight. And Allah is saying here, Allah intended to establish the truth by His words. But no, it was a fight by the sword. It was a fight, war, not by His words. And to eliminate the disbelievers, moreover. Now Allah wants to eliminate the disbelievers, not only disbelief, but disbelievers. This implies, what are the implications? Taking the lives of the disbelievers, destroying them completely. So compulsion is coming in, right? And to such an extent that Allah wants to eliminate the disbelievers, not allow. And here He's saying He's allowed them, and had your Lord will, those on earth would have believed, all of them entirely. And now He wants to eliminate the disbelievers. Look at the contradictions. Surah 8, ayat 7. Moreover, Surah 4, ayat 47 is the one, right? To obliterate faces of those where, I mean, this is a, look, is a call to those who are given the book to believe in the revelation sent to Prophet, right? AI overview to Prophet Muhammad, which confirms their own scriptures. It warns against a severe punishment, including being turned backwards or cursed as the Sabbath breakers, Sabbath Sahabas, Ashabs. What about obliterate? See how AI overview has missed this. Obliterating faces. Do this before we alter countenances. Allah is threatening, but now He's contradicting Himself. Let there be there should be no compulsion in religion. There is no compulsion in religion. And now He's compelling the Jews and the Christians, the Ahli Kitab, the people of the scripture, before we obliterate faces. Contradiction to not only Surah Baqarah ayat, where is it? Keep forgetting. Surah Baqarah 256, where Allah states that there is no compulsion in religion. Truth stands out clear from error. And Surah 10, ayat 99. And had your Lord willed, those on earth would have believed, all of them entirely. Then, meaning, O Muhammad, would you compel the people in order that they become believers? Now you see, same word is used for compelling, forcing or compelling people. A threat is also a compulsion, a form of compulsion against their will. You put them in duress or, coerce them. It's compulsion, part of compulsion. It's a stronger way to compel people. Like Allah is telling you, not even in a lighter way to compel the people in order that they become believers. So let alone using force, right? And the same word, Arabic word, is used in Surah Baqarah 256, as is used here in Surah 10, ayat 99. Would you compel the people? Compel, for compel. Arabic word, see, check. General ayat, right? Here I say general because it is a general ayat for all who have not believed. Allah If Allah had willed, He would have used His will to. And now Shia, see how they exonerate or praise Allah for His mercy and free will giving to the human beings. They want to be believers, let them be believers, disbelievers. Instead, He provides the opportunity for individuals to choose to believe. Opportunity provided to choose to believe based on their understanding, their understanding, believers, their understanding, people's understanding, and free will on belief. These individuals' understanding. Oh, so would you take this right? And so, moreover, exonerating, right? Exonerating Allah, free will and mercy. The word is exonerating, right? Let me just check. Exonerate. No, no, it's not the right word I'm using. Praise someone. It does. I thought it was. Sorry, I'm wrong. They're like exalting Allah, praising Allah on this mercy, His mercy, and giving the individuals free will to human beings. Not exonerating. Sorry, I've forgotten. Then I've made a mistake. Sorry, I apologize for this. Right? Praising Allah, mercy and free will. So, which Shia are you true? Value of voluntary obedience also. Shia scholars emphasize, now here the Shia scholars emphasize that faith earned through voluntary obedience is more valuable than faith imposed or forced upon someone. Shia religious scholars have shot themselves in the feet, foot, 1 foot. Yeah. Look, the importance of dawah also. The verse underscores the significance of conveying the message of faith in a way that encourages people to understand. This means not to threaten them that before, like Allah has now in Surah 4 ayat 47, that we will obliterate your faces, we curse you on your back, or curse you, and so curse you on your back, turn you on your back, so curse you as we curse the Sabbath Sahabas, companions of the Sabbath. Not breakers. Encourage people to understand, encouraging people to understand and make a conscious choice. Allah Himself has not given the Ahl Kitab this choice. For goodness sakes, where are you, religious scholars? Shia religious scholars? Where is it? Value of voluntary obedience, where it was covered. Shia scholars, where are you? See, now, every step of the way, remembering Dr. Khalil Andani and what he said. Right? Religious scholars can only do this. And we can only trust, that means, in religious scholars to give you the right knowledge about their religion, whether in different madhabs, in the same religion. What a joke. I don't want to play the shaming and all this game against Dr. Khalil Andani, Dr. Khalil Andani, but I must taunt him. You should have known better. For at least the 12er Shias, right? Okay, so the importance of dawah also underscores the significance of conveying the message of faith in a way that encourages people to understand and make a conscious choice. Allah never did that for the Jews and the Christians, the people of the book, those who have been given the scripture before now, as he states in Surah 4, ayat 47. Divine justice. The verse also touches on the concept of divine justice, emphasizing that while God is capable of immediate punishment, he grants individuals the time and space to make informed choices, but if they don't and respond to the call of faith. So this is his divine justice. And when they don't, then then it's against this, right? The importance of dawah, the value of voluntary obedience, obstacles to faith. Okay, did I read this? Was this important? Hinder a person's ability to believe. Unless they need to overcome these obstacles and focus on seeking knowledge and truth. The importance of dawah, divine justice. On this. Time and space to make informed choices, and then Allah is applying force and all the contradictions happening, compelling them to believe. No, at no time can there be a compulsion to believe. Connection to Shia theology also, see. These interpretations align with core Shia theological principles, including the importance of reason and intellect. Now it comes to that, right? Allah will put writs on you if you don't use your reason and intellect. And yaqiluna, qiluna means what? Yaqiluna means intellect and reason, according to Shia um, interpretation meaning of that word. Yaqiluna in Surah 10, ayat 100. So the importance of reason and intellect. Shia tradition emphasizes the use of reason and intellect in seeking knowledge and understanding of God's will. The value of free will again. Shia theologians, religious scholars, Shia theology recognizes the importance of free will and individual responsibility in making choices about faith and actions, about faith also. The role of divine guidance. Now we come to that. Shia scholars believe that God provides guidance through the prophets, the Qur'an, and the Imams, right? Yeah, so here, Surah Fatir ayat is there. Surah Fatir ayat, which one? 70. That's the surah number. Okay, I don't remember the ayat. But ultimately, thank you, AI overview. This is what we were told. And I couldn't put words to this, to convey it to you. But ultimately, individuals are responsible for their choices. Dr. Khalil Andani. Oh my goodness. You know this, you should know this very well. And you're saying religious scholars, religious scholars. No, even after your imam. But ultimately, individuals are responsible for their choices. So, in summary, oh my God, Dr. Oh my God. So, Dr. Khalil Andani having an imam present, Hazir Nazir, they can see the imam and he's present. He's not in occultation like I wonder if this might be like the 12 were Shia's, 12th imam, last imam. Imam Mahdi, Imam Hassan Askari's son. But ultimately, individuals are responsible for their choices. That's why this Ismaili Imam, I'm sure it's in their Shia, Ismaili Shia Tariqah, Imami school of thought, right? Because when the Ismailis become ex-Ismailis, they don't have that taking of lives penalty, death penalty for apostates. So who should know better than Dr. Khalil Andani? 12 Shias have that death penalty for apostates. Ismailis don't have that. So how important is individuals' responsibility for making choices on this faith, guidance, everything? AI has given us now, thanks to AI and Google search and all this. So in summary, Surah Yunus ayat 100 is interpreted by Shia Muslims as a call for individuals to actively engage, individuals, not religious scholars only, individuals to actively engage with their faith and make conscious choices, emphasizing the importance of free will, individual responsibility, individual responsibility, and the value of voluntary obedience. So if you disobey even, what does the Imam, Ismaili Imam do? He just says excommunicate. Okay, you're no longer a part of this tariqah, Ismaili tariqah, path in Islam. That's it. He's been consistent, Al Khan the fourth. I don't know much, and third also his grandfather, and now the fifth one also been consistent, right? I don't know about the previous imams. So, but 12 Shias, you haven't been consistent because you give punishments. If there is voluntary disobedience, then you go for the you would should go for the cutting of hands for the thieves and all this. The verse under, but the Ismailis don't. Ismaili Imam doesn't, and neither do their his murids exercise this any punishment. Since individual freedom, responsibility, you are responsible for your own selves now, and the value of voluntary obedience. The verse underscores the need to overcome obstacles to faith and use one's intellect to discern the truth. Again, it's individuals aligning with core Shia theological principles. You see, there's no force here. Do you see any free will? Free will, individual responsibility. Surah 10, ayat 101, tell them, observe carefully all that is in the heavens and earth. Where this was, now we come to, this is the end of the Shia tafsir in summary, right here, theological principles. On one hand, this is the 12 Shia summary. I mean, the whole explanation of Surah 10, ayat 100. Shia Tafsir, AI overview. Now, this is what I did for individual responsibility. This is what I thought my religion was, but when I saw the punishments in 12 Rishiyas. But another thing is that I saw contradictions, right? Why is now Allah compelling them? Surah 4, ayat 47, the people who are given the book, former scriptures, obliterating faces. Allah Himself threatening is a contradiction. You can't make an excuse on that. And where's that? Surah 2 ayat 193. Now, the proper interpretation here, it's not that they're going to cease from fighting you, right? religion. Yet, in case they refrain, cease from not fighting, refrain from what? Becoming polytheists, Shias, 12 Shias on the dot. I'm giving you tafsir. This means cease from being disbelievers, for God's sake. Not cease from fighting you. Then there shall be no hostility. Yeah, hostility against the disbelievers until they become Muslims, right? So, what are you crying about? That after even Prophet Muhammad, they didn't leave these these polytheists, hypocrites, didn't leave Prophet Muhammad, his family members, and Hussein in Karbala, and they went after them. If they didn't go after them, they tried not to go after them, but they hostility against them should stop when they become Muslims. So now see where the Muslim believers have to stop. Hmm? Against the disbelievers. Not stopping against the disbelievers. Keep on fighting, keep on fighting. This is what Sunni tafsir says, meaning taking it from Surah, the same Surah ayat 190, 92, 93. Keep fighting them. Now it's not because they stop. If they stop, even if they stop fighting you, they should also cease from being disbelievers. So who's after them now until they become Muslims? Who's after them? Who's after the disbelievers? Prophet Muhammad started this. Allah started it, but at the time of Prophet Muhammad, until they cease to be disbelievers. Here in this Quran ayat. Shias, who's after them? And your tafsirs are they had hostilities against Al Bayt. They became hypocrites. Now they're in Islam and they've become hypocrites. Did they have a choice? They didn't have a choice but to become believers at that time. And of course, they're going to be hypocrites. And when Allah tells the believers to, in Surah 9, this also, right? Look, they had this arg. They had perhaps, they'd seen that we will do just, we will take revenge. You're going to say, oh, these hypocrites just wanted to take revenge. No. Well, Allah tells us in Surah 9 that the believers, we will, what? Um, we will, what hearts? Uh, Revenge. Now I'm going, I don't know why I'm stuck, block. Come on, these hypocrites you call them, they didn't have a choice but to become believers, the disbelievers. What? Otherwise, they would get killed. Fighting, fighting, fighting. The believers are fighting them. In the Quran, does not mention revenge. In the context, believers' hearts. However, it discusses fighting against those who disbelieve, particularly those who break the. No, 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 not particularly. Fight, fight, fight. And Allah will remove the rancor in the hearts of the believers. Let's put it this way. Is it in which surah is it? Allah will remove the rancor in the hearts of the believer. From the hearts. They are enraged, right? They want revenge because first, we are told, the Quran claims that they were Prophet Muhammad was exiled. Will you not fight those who exiled you, fought with you at first? No, no, they didn't fight with you at first. Even that is a lie. Verse describes how remove any hearts of believers is found, resentment from the hearts of the righteous. He will remove the rancor in their hearts and Allah will turn. No, no. Where's that ayat? Allah will remove the rage. The hearts are burning to take revenge. will remove the rage, the anger from the hearts of the believers. Surah Tawbah at 15. It is Surah Tawbah, I think. Remove the rage within their hearts. See, Surah Tawbah at 15. 14? Sorry, let's see here. Fight them. Surah Tawbah at 14. Fight them. Allah will punish them by your hands and will disgrace them and give you victory over them and satisfy the breasts of a believing people and heal the breasts of the okay. This way Allah's put it. But where's the rage one? And remove here. Rage one is here. Surah 9, ayat 15. Next time. And remove the anger. So coming as a Muslim telling me, oh, why are you getting angry? Why are you getting angry? When you believers, if you're a Muslim coming here telling me, why are you getting angry? And remove the anger. You look at the believers, how angry they were of their hearts. In their hearts, they were so angry. And Allah accepts repentance of whom He wills. Yeah? So Allah will give you victory over them and heal the breasts of the believers and remove the anger. This is revenge, not justice. And now Shia saying, oh, the hypocrites, they became Muslims. No, they did not become Muslim out of their own free will. Take Surah 2 ayat 193, proper interpretation, and see it's not only the polytheists who broke treaties and all this specifically, but every disbeliever you had to fight there. They had to fight until they become believers. Not only that, you fight until fitna is no more by the disbelievers. And you know, Sunni tafsir also I found. What does it say? This recently I found in Surah Baqarah. Here in term fitna is used as a different sense from the one in which it was used above. See Surah Al-Baqarah at 191. It is okay, but it is evident from the context that fitna refers here to the state of affairs wherein the object of obedience in someone other than God. What does this mean? The object of obedience is someone other than God. Polytheists, disbelievers. Hence, the purpose of a believer's fighting is that this fitna should cease. That the disbelievers should not obey someone other than God. Come on, how many? So this is also fitna. If you obey someone other than God, disbelievers, they so now what's happening? Now Yazid is now Abu Sufyan. Now not even Muawiyah. Now when Yazid comes, actually Muawiyah Hassan, Ali wouldn't have peace treaty with Muawiyah. At least Hassan was a little lenient and went outside of the religion with Muawiyah. So, but what did Muawiyah see in Hassan that you say that he then used a wife of Imam Hassan to poison him, poison Imam Hassan? Hence, the purpose of a believer's fighting is that this fitna should cease and obedience should be consecrated to God alone and this Allah alone. Now, where are the disbelievers? No more, right? So, thanks to Sunni Maududi, right? Ibn Qatir, no, just, where is it? In Tafsir works below, this Tafsir of Abul Ala Maududi, the second is of Ibn Qatir. Ocha on Surah Baqarah ayat 190 provides a complete commentary from verse 190 through 193. Also, I have to read a lot, but I just wanted to remain on this ayat 193. Believers are asked to fight those who hindered their efforts in the cause of God and acted with hostility towards them merely because they sought to fashion human life according to the revealed guidance of God. Earlier, when they were weak and scattered, the Muslims were asked merely to preach and to be patient with the wrongful, weak, and scattered. A repression meted out with the wrongful to them by their opponents. However, now that a small city state has been established in Medina, they were commanded for the first time to unsheathe their swords against those who had resorted to armed hostility against their movement of reform. It was sometime, I can't read this really. I don't believe in this. 201. The believers are told that material interest should not be a motivation, the motivation for the fighting. Okay, unscrupulous methods, indiscriminate killings, pillage, not allowed. They were in the age of ignorance. Don't, okay? So this is all, but I have to go. No. That's why I had to go to Surah 193. See, against all this, what your religious scholars are saying, but Maududi put it well, right? Here, the term fitna is used in a different sense from the one in which it was used above. See Surah Al Baqarah, ayat 191. It is evident from the context that fitna refers here to the state of affairs wherein the object of obedience is someone other than God. Hence, the purpose of a believer's fighting is that this fitna should cease and obedience should be consecrated to Allah alone, no God. An investigation of the usages of the word deen reveals that the core of its meaning is obedience. And its technical usage, the word refers to that system of life which arises as a result of a person recognizing someone as his Lord and sovereign and committing himself to following his commands and ordinances. The explanation, this means they have to become Muslims to obey this Allah. And quite clear that some human being establish their godhead and absolute dominance, or even someone who's a human being who says, I'm your leader, other than the leader of Islam or a religious Muslim religious scholar or those in authority, Muslims among you. The state of affairs is one of fitna. Islam seeks to put an end to this and replace it by a state of affairs in which people live in obedience to the laws of Allah alone, not God. Which God are you talking about? Christian God? What is meant here by desisting is not the abandonment of unbelief and polytheism on the part of the unbelievers, but rather the desistance from active hostility to the religion enjoined by God. This is what the Sunnis say, okay? But I don't believe in this. The unbeliever, Sunnis have gone, the Sunnis are not right here. The unbeliever, the polytheist, the atheist has each been empowered to hold on to his beliefs and to worship who and whatever he wishes. Oh my goodness. In order to deliver these people from their error, Muslims are required to counsel them and tell them where their God lies. But Muslims ought not to try to achieve this purpose by resorting to force. So they're trying. You see, the Sunni Abul Ala Maududi or Ibn Kathir is trying to go with those ayats where Allah says There's no compulsion in religion. Would you compel them? And they can't believe it that this ayat is about where no one remains a disbeliever, and that they cease from becoming disbelievers and they obey Allah and Allah's Messenger. At the same time, these misguided people have no right to either enforce the false laws of their own contriving instead of the laws of God, meaning Allah, Islam, or to drive the people of God to bondage of others than God, like turn away people also. And yeah, in order to put an end to this fitna, both persuasion and force be used. Okay, whenever, let's go with this, right? And but I'm explaining also at the same time that it's wrong. And whenever said to the extent to which each of us, to the extent to which each of the two is needed, and a true believer will not rest until the unbelievers give up this fitna. Okay, the statement of that hostility is meant only against wrongdoers seems to imply that the true system of life replaces the false one. Ordinary people should be granted a general amnesty. At the same time, however, it would be justifiable to punish those who exceeded all limits in their hostility to the truth. Now, this is too much over explanation of things that God has not given, sorry. Those criminals whose records were exceptionally bad could, however, be punished. The Prophet availed himself of this permission in respect of some notorious enemies whose, oh my goodness, it goes on and on and on. Meaning, there's a lot of over explanation and kind of going out of what the Quran ayat is saying. This is what I have worked out. So here, these Muslims are giving an over explanation so that there would be no contradiction to there is no compulsion in religion, right? So let's see the tafsir of Surah 4 ayat 47, Sunni tafsir. Now, how do they reconcile, right? There's no compulsion in religion. Allah has said and told the Prophet also. So let's see how they reconcile the contradiction. Calling the people of the book to embrace the faith, warning them against doing otherwise. Allah commands the people of the scripture to believe in what He has sent down to His servants and messenger, Muhammad, the glorious book that confirms, the glorious book that confirms to the good news or conforms to the good news that they already have about Muhammad. He also warns them before we efface faces and turn them backwards. Al-Awfi said that Ibn Abbas said that effacing here refers to blindness, and turn them backwards, meaning we put their faces on their backs and make them walk backwards, since their eyes will be in their backs. Similar, now this is how they are trying to reconcile with the contradiction. Reconcile where there's a contradiction, there should, against those eyes, right? Oops. Allah says there should be no contradiction, compulsion. Surah Baqarah 256, is it? And Surah 10 ayat 99, is it? To Muhammad also, but he himself is. So it's like allegorical, and this makes the punishment even more severe. Similar was said by Qatada and Atiyah al-Awfi. This makes the punishment even more severe, and it is a parable that Allah said for ignoring the truth, preferring the wrong way and turning away from the plain path for the paths of misguidance. Therefore, such people walk backwards, meaning blinding them and turning the faces back. Allah will do this. Similarly, some said that Allah's statement, "Verily we have put on their necks iron collars reaching to the chin so that their heads are raised up, and we have put a barrier before them through Yasin ayats," that is a parable, allegorical. Or it is a parable that Allah gave for their deviation and hindrance from guidance. Ka'b al-Ahbar embraces Islam upon hearing this ayat. Okay, this is all there is. The reign of Umar. Embrace Islam. O Ka'b. Ka'b said, "Do you not read in your book?" What? I can't read this properly, really. I don't know. Why waste my time on this? Because I can see them reconciling with the contradictions in the Quran ayat. You see how they are doing this? Just showing you a little bit examples. Allah is saying, I'm going to obliterate Shia, at least Shia, see, Shia, physically obliterate faces for God's sake. Shia tafsir on in multilingual Quran, if I can go there. Oh, it's a multilingual Quran. I'm blocked. No. Today it's working. Multilingual Quran. See, Surah 4, Ayat 47. Shias are right about this. Before we alter their faces means disfigure their visages beyond recognition. Turn them towards their back means, according to Imam Muhammad bin Ali al-Bakr, the fifth Imam of the 12 Shias, and also the Ismailis believe in this Imam as their Imam. I don't know in what number he comes in, right? But the 12 Shias, fifth number Imam. Because Ismaili Shias, I just have to say that I think Abu Talib was also an Imam, I'm not sure. And there were previous Imams in the Jews, prophets and Imams. Jewish religion, reverting the people of the book to the previous position when there was no divine guidance. Reverting the people of the book to the previous position. Turn them towards their back. It is reported that there were Jews like Abdullah bin Salam, again the same thing, and Ka'b al-Ahbar, who were Ka'b, Sunni. Prophet was before we alter the faces means disfigure the visages beyond recognition. It's physical sense, right? Visage. Get it? Visages, meaning in a physical sense. Person's face with reference to the form or proportions of the features. Now, why would Allah put Sunnis? Now, to help the Sunnis, my God. Who, O you who have brought the book, believe in what we have been sending down, sincerely what is with you, before we obliterate faces, and so turn them upon their, and see, at least Dr. Ghali is right, it's far, not and, so turn them upon their backs, literally hind parts, or curse them as we curse the Sabbath. Man, yeah, Dr. Ghali. Now, i.e., the Sabbath breakers meaning. They have to put this because it's Sabbath, the Sahabas of the Sabbath. And the ashab is like Sahaba, companions, right? And the command of Allah has to be performed. Now, why would Allah give such a gory, gross, terrible, grotesque parable, allegorically putting it, abstract, before we obliterate faces? Huh? Sunnis? But whatever it is now, it's okay. Do you see that this is a threat to them? This is a allegorical or physical, but whichever you take it, it is a threat. And a threat has compulsion in it. It's coercion. Believe. It's not by intellectual understanding, individuals, inf- informative, and okay, it says what is in your books, but then a threat is given by Allah. So whether physical you say or I say and you say allegorical doesn't mean physical threat. But this is a threat, and yeah. But this is a threat, right? And a threat like this in belief, whether allegorical, even, should not be, right? Come to that. Sunnis. It would go against even this ayat. No, no. It will go against what Allah has told Prophet Muhammad. Would you compel the people in order that they become believers? And Surah, which I didn't put in my notes, Surah Baqarah, ayat 256. Let me just search it like this, so I will. Surah Baqarah, ayat what? Let me check. W typo 256. Allah Himself is saying, let there be no compulsion in religion. Some put it this way, some put it, there is no compulsion in religion. General. There no there is no compulsion. Ikraha. Right? And in the other tukhriya is the same, compel. It's not compulsion, but it's the same word used in a different Arabic. Arabic is like this, different form. In religion, in the religion, surely has become distinct the true path from the wrong. Taghut means false deities, devil, okay, and believes in Allah, disbelieves in Taghut. Okay, this is only important, right? Allah says, "Let there be no compulsion in religion." Then why is Allah Himself compelling, and with coerce, with threats in Surah? Threats. God, I get confused now. Need a break, right? Surah 4, ayat 47. Where is it? Oh goodness. Yeah, here it is. This is a threat, and it would be compulsion. Coercion, meaning forcing someone through a threat, compelling someone against their will. Force, through coercion, through saying that I will punish you if you don't in this world. Now, then maybe later you will be punished because the command of Allah is performed. But now Allah is giving that threat for a later it would take place on you. So it's compelling them through coercion. So, contradiction against Surah Baqarah 256 and Surah 10, Ayat 99. And had your Lord willed, those on earth would have believed, all of them entirely. Then, O Muhammad, would you compel the people in order that they become believers? Surah 10, Ayat 99. Right? Surah 10, Ayat 99. Let's open this. It's the same compulsion and compel force. Surah 10, Ayat. Yeah? Like in Surah Nur, was I thinking of Surah Nur, Ayat 33? Will you compel the slave girls or maid girls? And if you willed, your Lord, and if willed your Lord, Sha'a, wished or willed, your Lord surely would have believed who are in the earth, all of them together. Then will you compel, tukrehu, yeah, tukriu. Yeah, it's from the same word, right? Like in Surah Baqarah 256. Then will you, then, oh, wait a minute. Then will you compel the mankind until they become believers? Oh my goodness, see the contradiction I saw. So that's why I didn't want to, and I was short, like I'm not too good. I lack short of really eloquence. That's why I wanted to avoid going too much into the tafsirs, the Sunni tafsirs and all like that and take time. Already it's very difficult to explain and show for me, right? Seeing the contradictions between these ayahs. So even as Allah mentions it in Surah 10, ayat 99 again to Prophet Muhammad, then will you compel? I mean, it doesn't say, oh, it's in brackets, meaning, oh, Muhammad, even. Compel the mankind until they become believers. So, what is Surah 4, ayat 47? Even allegorically putting it, like not physically defacing the faces. It is a threat. Punishment will happen. Maybe happen at a later time also, but it is a threat. And fourth, it's a part of compulsion, stronger part, forcing them to believe. And who are they? They are not some creatures. They're human beings, nas, mankind, the mankind. From the mankind, they are human beings, humankind. Surah 4, ayat 40. Please see this. So this is what I found. Your religious scholars, even Tafsir, is trying to, make it seem like there's no contradiction. In the Sunni also. But Shia somewhere helped me, Shia Tafsir, showing you that. Or, somewhere the Sunni Tafsir helped me, Sunni Islam, and Shia Islam didn't help. All this. So this. Now enough. I think I should end it. Any questions? So I was here with the sincere. Look how many problems they've given me. Only if AI was here at that time. Shia interpretations emphasize the responsibility of individuals, not religious scholars only, to use their minds and intellect, to discern, to make out, understand, find out to figure out, work out the truth and make informed choices about the faith. Okay? So, this also, and then to eliminate the disbelievers. I mean, contradictions. And Surah 8 ayat 7, to eliminate disbelievers. Surah 2 ayat 193. So Allah started the fight, asked the Prophet to come out and fight with them, right? When the believers were also, some party of the believers were against it, arguing against what Allah had, why Allah had brought him out for, what, or what reason Allah had, and the reason Allah had brought the Prophet out of his home for, that some party of the believers were against it, arguing with him, and they were led as if they were led towards their death. The Sahabas, companions of the Prophet. And so now Allah here says to eliminate the disbelievers. Not the unarmed one, now you fight the armed one. Eliminate the disbelievers' mischief, fitna. Allah could have put this. Their zulm, their mujrim, their being mujrims, their crimes. No, no, to eliminate the disbelievers, not even to eliminate the disbelief. Forget it. Maybe they don't have any choice. If they die, forget it. Don't even think about the future plan that the Shias have said. Imam Ali used to look at every disbeliever in the battle and see he wouldn't strike them, wouldn't kill them because his generations ahead had a moment. Forget it, Shias. To eliminate the disbelievers, what are you going to say about this? So many things. What have you done? Okay, thank you very much. I have to go now, or because of my health, also, like I have to race out of this live stream now. Thank you, and thank you so much for your time and attention. Sorry, I have to. So the conclusion. You see contradictions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Leave Islam.